but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome one. Welcome all. It is time once again for Blaine's Escape Corner. Our little corner of the internet where we get together, we talk about the things that help us escape. Oh, baby. Got my sake here. Blader. Yep. How about that sport ball? Definitely balled some sport this weekend. It happened, I'm sure. Pop, you're probably getting buffering. Ooh, I heard another one. I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm. Oh, that's a that's a long rumble. That's a long rumble. Ooh. You got a rant if I need content? Maybe. We can get to that. I have some stuff to talk about today. I have some things I wish to elucidate. But no, the shortness of tonight's stream is not due to a lack of content. The shortness of today's stream is due to I have to make sure that I am fresh and ready in the morning for my Washington State is changing the rules. You no longer need just a food handler's permit. Someone on your food trailer also, or food truck, also needs... Oh, Willie's running under the bed. He's scared of the lightning or the thunder. It's okay, buddy. You okay? You're so cute. You no longer need just a food handler's permit. You also need someone in the company that has a food manager's certification. Food protection manager certification. It's kind of a weird one. So I'll be doing that test tomorrow, and it's like the food handlers test. They literally just let you like click through online, and then you're good to go. The manager's cert, you have to actually like have a remote proctor. It's like, what, really? Get out of here. Come by, everyone. So fresh and so clean. Let's move this over here. What am I doing? Okay. I need to change this. There we go. Now we're on live. Let's pull up the big news coming in. I hope you're ready for it, everyone. I know you've all been very excited, been on the edge of your seats, been sitting there. Which anime is gonna get delayed next? It's Bofuri! Bofuri's nuts! Yeah, new rant again? Sure, I mean, try to tell me that a Gadu isn't a Gadu, or a princess is a Gadu. We can rant all day long on that. Oh my goodness. All right, here, let's read this one first here. Bofuri anime second season delays 7th episode by 2 weeks due to COVID-19. 2 weeks, not bad, as long as it is only 2 weeks. All right. Remote proctors are the worst. You had some from India when taking some tests. Hopefully, hopefully the remote proctor is US based because it's an FDA like certification. So like they kind of should be the ones that do the test or whatever. COVID is 2023. We'll get to that. Shield needs upgrade then, for sure. Carol's best girl. She's not worst girl. She's not worst girl. I don't know if she's my best girl, but yeah, she's definitely better than when it started. Official website for the anime based on Yumikon's Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my defense light novel series, revealed on Monday that the staff are delaying the 7th episode of Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my... Why are we trying to pad out the first paragraph based on the light novel, the anime series by the same name? Like, come on, don't be like this. Don't be like this. Crystalline with 2 Y's, Hodgkins without an E. How come you got enough money to buy an extra Y, but you can't buy that E? Get out of here. Carol's mom is best girl. We're getting closer. We're getting closer for sure. Ooh, that was another rumbler. That's another rumbler. Oh, the good Lord Almighty might be ending this stream early. Yeah. They're talking a little too much about waifus and coronavirus. I'm gonna have to shut this one down. St. George's Shack. Hello. Hello, how are you? The season 2 by 2 weeks due to the effects of COVID-19, and here we are on the part of the show produced in China. Rip to Blaine's power. I at least have a generator I could hook up to power the home, so I guess that works. But if it comes down and rips my my network, there's not much I can do other than jump on like my phone to make sure the stream gets turned off. The episode will now air on March 8th. The anime will re-air the first episode on February 22nd, the second episode on March 1st. After the 7th episode airs on March 8th, episodes 8 through 10 will air weekly. The staff will reveal the broadcast schedule for episodes 11 and 12 at a later date. Back to direct, which is all just blah 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 blah. But I wanted to talk about this for like a little bit. Is it a Generac? No, I'm a normal household that just has a Duramax dual fuel? I've got it runs on propane or gasoline, both of which I have available to me. Oh geez, turn that off. Generac. I don't have like $5,000 to throw down on like, oh, I'll just get a backup generator for my home that can. No, get out of here. I get a normal 12,000 watt generator, electric start, dual fuel. Get that thing revving up there. We'll get this house cooking in no time. But you also have propane. You know I got them propane accessories. You know it. I'm also certified in refilling propane tanks without the use of assistance. I can do it on my own. Any news on Ayakashi or Misfit? Demon King, let's see. Ayakashi Triangle Return. Delays episodes 5 and beyond. No, I don't think so. This was back in January. The Blu-ray got seriously delayed. Show premiered on the 9th, yeah. Doesn't say when it's coming back. It's indefinite delay. No, this is a January news. Get out of here. Spoiler, eat shit, Serranos. Ha ha! How's it feel to be on the wrong side of an opinion, Serranos? Oh, man. Have I changed the oil on it this year? Yes. It's like brand new. The oil in it has probably seen 10... I don't even know if it's going to be 10 hours of use. It's maybe 2 hours of use. It's brand new. Brand new. So no news on Ayakashi, Misfit, Demon King Return. No. No, near back, but everybody else is still gone. Your boos mean nothing to me. You also complain about being censored. That's you could go to hell, Serranos. Heartfelt. Serranos is our lofty, lovable, but shit. Yes, I made it. I got away. I'm gonna run off into the sunset, not being the lofty of the channel. Blaine was lofty. Damn it. Waiting for the uncensored. Uncensored might get pushed back a little bit. The thing I just read said the Blu-ray release was getting pushed from March to September. Just a bit. Just a bit. St. George's Shock doesn't mind the 2-week delay. This is a season where we have enough shows that even with Nier, Misfit, Ayakashi, what did we just... Oh, Bofuri, all being delayed. We still have enough stuff to watch, right? In previous winter seasons, we haven't had anything to watch. If one or two got bumped and those were the ones you were watching, you were gone. You know? Imagine Attack on Titan, one of these last few seasons, getting delayed in the winter. Like, what are you gonna watch? What are you watching instead? You know? I'll find some isekai, something or whatever. But this is the first season where it doesn't really impact, like, the ability to watch a lot of good shows. Back in 2020, a lot were delayed. I wasn't really tracking in the winter at all of 2020. So I don't really remember a lot of, like, delays. And I don't know that... Like it had to be, right? Like my brain says, of course lots got delayed. But, like, I wasn't really paying attention and keeping up at that time. I was doing some other stuff in my life where I wasn't watching a ton of anime. So it wasn't until after that I started to get a little bit more into it. Back in one of those still watch anime includes My Hero Academia. It could. I have like 10 shows I'm trying to keep on, and none of them are even My Hero. Like that's how stacked this season is. There's so much to watch and so much to enjoy. For real, you only have 10 shows saved for next season? Ooh. Maybe we can do that. Is our next season article... Is the next season listing going to be accurate? I mean, we're only like halfway through this season. It feels a little preemptive to start browsing next season's anime. When we're only halfway through. I'll probably hold off for a little bit longer. We'll see. I'll hold off for a little bit longer. Would the OG D&D cartoon be considered an isekai? Is that the one where they actually get, like, teleported into Dungeons and Dragons? then yes. Because we all joke that the heck is it? Alice in Wonderland is an isekai, right? So like as long as you're being removed from your world and put into a different world, isekai, then you're going to be an isekai. Various levels of OP protagonist, be damned. As long as you're in a different world, I think it counts. And I contend to this day that even if you're reincarnated into the far future, still counts. So you take a cowboy, you reincarnate him today, isekai'd. Yes, it would. That's true, Pop. Is Jumanji isekai? To get sucked into the game. You die in the game, you die for real. Literally built a lot of the modern Zoomer anime fandom. So, yes, Jumanji is Grandpa Isekai. For sure. Leighton Gay. Pandora Hearts and Isekai? The heck is Pandora Hearts? I know better than to just say yes to that. Oh, yes, probably. Wait, no, hold on. Does the protagonist get isekai'd? Oh well, I'll find out. It's not, but you tricked Nico. Nice. Look at me with my smart Googling powers. But I posted this and I was like, yeah, you know, people don't like, and by people, I mean, Alex Moore doesn't like when I don't talk about anime. He's like, finally, back to the anime talk. So I can only assume that he gets annoyed when I talk about business or politics, or whenever I stray from the anime reviews, he kind of glazes over like, oh, he's talking about thing again. But those things, because what we love is international, and the way that the world works is so international at this point, you can't help but have the politics mixed in. You can't help but have the way that like international business is controlled mixed in. Alex Moore, yes, I'm calling you out. Let's talk more about generators then. No. Because we're having anime delayed because China is messing around with their COVID-19 policies, right? Like there's no two ways about it, right? We in 2023 are having shows delayed because Japan has been outsourcing because it's cheaper. So there's your business. They've been outsourcing in-betweens to China and Korea, and having them do the in-between work rather than paying some Japanese artists to get the in-between work done. That's going to take international work there. We got business. And then China's political policies on the COVID have been closing stuff down so that you can't get the work that you need, which little like, oh, come on. They can't work from home. They can't work from home and just ship it in. But it's a political policy in a government across the planet that is causing me not to get my Japanese cartoons, and it's just it's frustrating. Alex Moore like hearing about me playing demos and not hearing me sitting clacking on my keyboard taking notes about those demos, right? We don't really do our own animation anymore. Nobody does. COVID isekai'd all of us. We're all in a different world post lockdown. Actually, Michael, do you wanna jump in here? You can probably do your rant on whatever you want to do. Same thing to you, Serranos, if you wanna bump it and shout about some things. No one outsources it to us because we suck. Not suck, we're expensive, which is a good thing, but also an annoying thing. Uh, it's good. It's good that the people around you are expensive because it means that you've hit a point where your time is worth more money. It's it's more valuable to be doing something with, right? The problem that comes in is the end user doesn't want to just pay the cash to make it happen, right? So it's good that your stuff is more valuable, but you got to find an audience or create. Here's the trick, fan site. Here's the real trick. You need to get the audience, the fans that are willing to back you, right? It's cool to make something US made. Like my coolest tools, US made or Japanese made. They're very nice, very good tools. Much better. Like I'll buy Harbor Freight when I need something if I only need one of them, or if it's something I use in a really dumb way that ends up breaking it over and over again. Uh, but you've got to have that audience that wants that thing. And the problem with a lot of stuff coming out of the West is they just don't. Anyway, your boss
Yo.
doesn't see it that way. All right, Michael, the floor is yours. Rant away, friend.
All right, fair enough. So basically, I watched this really shitty movie called Beatrix at Dinner, I think it was called. It was something at dinner, and I think her name was Beatrix. Basically, really awful movie. This girl, this older Mexican woman is like a physical therapist and she's really spiritual. And overall, she's just a good person who works at like this cancer clinic, right? And she actually has to go to this rich lady's house who's like a friend. She does massages for her, and her daughter, the rich lady's daughter, had cancer, and she helped physical therapy the rich lady's daughter. So she's a very close friend of the family. Her car breaks down while she's there, and she's forced to stay the night and have dinner there um, at a dinner party where a bunch of super powerful people are going to be there. And obviously, it's super awkward. She like, ooh, she ruins everything, and it's a super awful movie to watch. Like you have zero fun watching this movie. It is clearly a character piece on the person, and it is just really annoying. As the movie goes on, you learn more about her, and she's like from Mexico, and she had to move here because like um, I think it was hotels were being developed there, and like they kicked everyone off their land, and she got kicked off her land and was forced to come to the U.S. And so one of the people there is actually one of the land developers, not the one that hurt her specifically, but like is one that's doing that sort of stuff still. And she decides that she is gonna yell. But she's not, to be honest. She decides that she's gonna cause a scene, right? And like she does, and when she's like literally like the tow truck's there to like pull like tow her car and get her out of there. You know what she does? She's like, "Actually, there's I forgot to grab something. Let me run back inside." She grabs the knife that she left on the table, right? This letter opener. She walks up and she stabs the dude. She fucking murders this dude on screen. It's horrible. It's bloody. Everyone comes running out there. Oh my god! Oh my god! What happened? How can you do this? What happened? And then it cuts to her just standing there because now that was really just her imagination. They literally pull a fucking was it Twilight New Moon? Was that the one where they fake an entire battle the entire movie, and at the very end, it's like, it was all a vision, and we're like not gonna fight now because we know it's gonna end badly for both sides. But yeah, that's basically what they do at the very end. She leaves, she gets in the tow truck, she's like, they're driving away, she's like, pull me over. He's like, right here on the side of the freeway? Yeah, yeah, pull me over, pull me over. She hops out, she runs down to like to the beach from where she is, and then she fully clothed runs into the ocean. She's like neck deep, and then she dives under a wave, and I'm pretty sure she's dead because like you don't survive that normally. Man, that was just the plot synopsis, and it did any of you enjoy that? Because I tried to make it enjoyable, but it was an awful fucking movie. It was horrible. Like, holy shit. You had zero fun watching it. The teacher got up in front of the class and was like, Okay, guys. Well, I actually hated this movie the first time I watched it, but then I watched it a second time and thought we need to see this in our class, man. It's something we need to see. Who's Salma Hayek? No one's tits were out, but the Spanish lady, the Mexican lady, had a fat ass. We got to, you know what? She might have been older, but like, goddamn, I wouldn't know. I left the young adult section in the third grade. Oh man, yeah. Honestly, it was like this movie that's trying to be very arty, you know, like it's trying to get everyone to like talk about its themes and shit, so it throws a bunch of random bullshit in there. Like whenever the main character's stressed out, she like thinks back to her childhood and they do it in this artsy way that's supposed to get you talking about it. And I fucking hate it because the movie was made for a fucking it was clearly made for fucking film school students, and I just whenever a movie's made for the sole purpose of talking about it afterwards in like an artsy setting, I fucking hate it because the movies aren't even supposed to be good at that point. We did enjoy this movie, but we had to watch it because it's a fucking art class. Like it's an artsy movie. I hate it. Anyway, what's up, Blaine?
Hey, what's this about Salma Hayek?
I have no idea. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Salma Hayek is? Oh
I
my
think that's the
god.
issue.
It's a good thing the silver screen is immortalized every inch of her.
Okay. Apparently, that's the girl I saw in the movie.
Just the girl?
Yeah, apparently Salma Hayek was the actress for the movie I had to watch.
I mean,
She wasn't ugly.
I know that she's like 60 something, but also looks like she's in her like early 30s. But I don't know if you could get
Uh,
away with casting her as a girl, like a little girl.
no, okay, that's a fair description of how she looked in the movie. I was gonna say she looked like she was in her 40s.
Every inch Alfarius. She's been around since Desperado. Like, what is her actual first movie? Hold on one second.
I don't know, but it was
We all know the
Beatrix
Dusk.
at Dinner was the movie that
It's
I
called
watched.
At
I don't know when
Dinner.
that came out. At Dinner, Beatrix at Dinner.
Oh, Desperado was in '95.
Oh shit,
Um, so
she's old.
what? Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Oh, she's not six. She's 56. She was
Okay.
born in '66. That's what it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Shum. Thank you for Geminire. Wasn't she in Zorro? I'm pretty sure she was. Like, if Antonio Banderas was in a movie, Salma Hayek was in that movie. I'm pretty sure there were reasons for that. Um, but yeah, the Once Upon a Time in Mexico series, which starts with Desperado, or no, it doesn't start with Desperado. It starts with El Mariachi, if I remember. But nobody's in El Mariachi. But then they're like, oh, I made a good movie about a guy who plays a guitar. Now I'm going to cast Antonio Banderas in the sequel because it's just what we did. Catherine Zeta Jones. Oh, is it Zeta or Zeta Jones? Catherine Zeta Jones? Catherine Zeta Jones? I don't remember.
Who
Where
knows?
is where is this? Um,
Okay, but how do
93.
you feel about those movies that aren't supposed to be good? They're supposed to get people talking about them.
Oh, so it depends. I don't know what the current term is for it, but back in my day, we called those films navel gazers because you might as well stare at your belly button for an hour instead of watching the
I
movie.
think that's what I did during the
Yeah,
movie. I just stared at the ceiling for a solid 30 minutes.
there are movies that are designed to make you think that are done really well because there's something bigger to them. Something like
Hmm.
THX 1138, right? You have George Lucas telling a film about a society where you don't eat food, you take pills. Some of your pills are basically mind control that have you just moving every day like a factory worker. And it's about eventually breaking out of that. And so the movie overall is very boring. Like there's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of like the most interesting scene is a like 70s like 70s special effects like strip dance and it's like a hollow, like a hologram, but it was like made way back in the day. Um, and like that's the most exciting part of the whole movie. But the whole film, when you're done, you're like, that was actually kind of interesting. Like, how are we like pilling ourselves to just go work in factories? Is that good? Is that bad? Oh, you know what? Being a cog, is useful. Some people need to do that, but also, not everybody needs it. Like it spurs on discussion that's actually good because the film is something that's been churning around in Lucas's head for a while, right? His student film was THX 1138, like a 15-minute version of the feature length film he would later make. But then you get other ones. Sounds like what you're describing, where it's like a bunch of what's the
It was rich people.
Sundown.
I don't know.
There's like
I
the
don't know
movie
which one.
festival, Sundance. A bunch of
It was
Sundance
literally
assholes who
movie
are like,
festival movie.
yeah, they're like, oh, what if we tell a movie about how immigrants suffer and the poor are driven to suicide? And it's like, what? Okay.
No, it wasn't treated like a suicide ending. It wasn't treated
No?
like a suicide ending. I don't think they acknowledged that she would have 100% died from what she did at the end. She just like runs into the ocean and dives under a wave, and then like the next scene is her in her youth at like a river, and it's just like,
Gotcha.
okay, well she's dead. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah. No, definitely. But yeah, there's some of those where like this is navel gaze is the new like woke, right? The idea with something that's woke, whether you're making something, on whatever side of the aisle you are, I will still call it woke if the entire purpose of the thing is the message of the thing. If there is no value in the story itself that is entertaining or interesting or useful, that's what identifies it as a piece of woke media to me. And like I said, we used to call it navel gazing because we like to just make fun of them. But now there's so many people that are like, no, this one's the best. And it's like, it used to be like the three guys that were in the film club with Lofty that used to say that like this was the best movie ever. And now it's like an entire like half of Twitter is like, no, this one's the greatest. It really made me feel, you got all these people that are going to all these, they've got their, not a psychology degree.
Makeshift psychology degree.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it really speaks on the human condition, and it's like, what? No, it was
Philosophy or
boring
something
as
like that.
hell. Philosophy majors, there we go. Yeah,
Yep.
and it's just
Some
boring as
girl gets up, and like a common theme is like whenever it does like the main character's past scenes, like her as a child, it's like by a river.
hell. Mm-hmm.
So a girl gets up and is like, I think that like water was representing like the purity of the movie and like of like everything, and how like whenever she was stressed out she like went back to the water, and then like at the end of the movie when she ran into the water, that was her returning to like a better time. And it's like, no, she fucking killed herself at the end. What are you talking about?
Yeah, how did she go back to that better time? Heaven?
Yeah.
That's usually how that happens.
Oh, how do you feel about fake outs in movies? Like in
fake out.
Twilight, that one Twilight movie where they do like the entire war and a bunch of people die, but then it's revealed like towards the end of the movie that actually it was a vision of what the future would have been if they all fought, and then they decide not to fight.
I'm gonna go with the centrist answer of if it's done well, I like it. Because
Okay, so
if you Mario to it and you're like, it was a dream, and then it doesn't mean anything, it's like, okay, well, you just stuck this weird framing device in here because you didn't want this to mess with some other canon. But if you have a fake out like that, and it's like, oh, this whole thing was like an actual vision. Like you'll have shows, Click. You ever seen Click with the
No.
Adam Sandler?
maybe, but I don't remember it.
Click has a really good one, and it's like it was when Adam Sandler was in like every movie, and like a third of them were actually pretty fun to watch. But if you ever had the chance, watching Click is one of those that'll slam you with that, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that makes perfect sense because we've all had that weird little moment where we just like kind of fall asleep, and you're like, oh, and just it works really really well.
Mm.
Michael wouldn't like the Final Destination movies. Wait, why not? Everybody loves a Final Destination movie.
I've never seen him. I don't know what he's talking about.
Final Destination as I don't know. They've got to be on they might have more Final Destinations than Land Before Time movies at this point.
Oh
Um,
shit! That's a
but
lot.
they're about just like people. It's their time to die. Michael is not Jesus. I can almost promise you that.
No, he's upset that I don't know what Final Destination is.
Let's see how many Final Destinations are there. There's only 5? No. Are
Oh
there?
no.
What? There's only 5? I must like have this weird dream that there's a Final Destination. Like I remember Final Destination 13 being advertised. Maybe I'm what's it called? I've been affected.
Yeah, the Mandela effect or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, the Final Destination, and then 5. Yeah. There's only 5? I swore. I swore there were over 10 of those. It's called Getting Old. Shut up, Shum. You
He
hold your
gets it.
tongue. 7 Paranormal Activity films. Well, if we add those both together.
Okay, but aren't like half the Paranormal Activity films like spin-offs? Aren't there only 3 like mainline ones?
I actually don't know.
I think it goes Paranormal Activity for like 1 through 3, and then it goes like Annabelle 1 and 2, or like something like that.
No, actually. It looks like it's Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they start getting like subheaders where it's the marked ones, the
Oh,
ghost dimension, next of kin. I remember that advertisement. Paranormal Activity, next of kin. That was 2021, so of course I remember it. It was recent.
hmm.
9 Saw and 9 Nightmare on Elm Street. What is this? How many films are in the film franchise? There's about to be 10 Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, I guess we're doing that now.
I love Fast and Furious.
Off topic. There's a new Love Is More movie coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I
Yeah,
mean, I thought is this the movie that like aired in Japan last spring or something?
yeah, it aired like December or
Okay.
something like that, and
Yeah.
it's coming to the U.S. for 2 days only, tomorrow and Wednesday, and it's
Well,
not coming
just
to
in
where I'm at.
time. It's not
I
coming to
am
you?
super pissed. It is not coming to any theaters near me, and I leave town to go back home where it is playing the
Mm-hmm.
day after it leaves theaters.
That's okay.
No, it's awful. I hate it.
But like you just watch it.
No, I watched the entirety of the series in preparation for this. Like I caught up. I had only finished season 1 before I heard this movie was coming out.
And you can't be like, oh, look, can we go see it?
There's no theater playing it.
There's
I
no
can't.
theater playing.
There's no theater playing it where I'm at, and I leave town to go hang out with family where it is playing the day after it leaves theaters.
Oh no.
So it is in theaters for Tuesday and Wednesday, and I leave town Thursday.
You should call the airline and be like, hey, can I leave on Wednesday?
I would, but I can't do that. I can't miss past
California
Thursday.
strikes again.
Yep. That one fucking theater, they owe me one. They know what they did.
Apparently. When I typed in Love is War movie, it came up with a live action.
Yeah, nope. It's called something like Endless Kiss or something like that.
The first kiss that never ends.
Yep.
It's at
that's it.
Fandango.
But it's not here.
Wait. This shows, at least in this area, I can watch it all the way out to Sunday.
What the fuck? It said 2 days only. The 14th and 15th.
You may try Googling it, cause and then like switch your zip code to wherever you're gonna be, cause yeah, I've got showtimes now. They're all the same theater. The 14th and 15th is only certain theaters. But then there's one theater, there's an AMC theater that has it for from the 16th through the 19th. 2 times for you tomorrow,
I only have
Alex.
a Cinemark near me.
No, but what about where you'll be? Like change your zip code.
Where I'll be, I check the actually there are like a lot of theaters where I'll be. I'll check.
Yeah. You didn't see the slime, but finished season 2 today as well. Season 2 of Slime. What happens in season 2? Um Slime Isekai is one of those like it gets really fun and I enjoy it. It's like city builder and there's a bunch of characters, but then it hits this point where there's just like too many characters, and I was like, I'm sick of tracking names at this point.
That's fair.
But do stopped by mysterious figure. Oh, I know season 2. Okay, cool, nicely done. The stuff that
I
happens
mean
for season 3, genius.
the first half of season 2 was really good, and then the second half was really boring. So
All I
it's one of
remember from
those.
season 2 is a bunch of people were like, "Oh, this is dumb. The slime guy could have defeated the person," and then a bunch of the people are like, "I read the manga, and you don't know that she wasn't even using half her power." And it's like, what's wrong with you people?
Wait. Who? Oh, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Oh yeah.
and it was like, why, why do y'all care? If watch the show and don't say, "Oh, he could have done." Like, doesn't matter if he could have, he didn't. So it's like me
No,
arguing with Nico on how many timelines there are. There's only one
it's a
timeline.
weird thing where in that episode they're talking about these two characters did not actually want to kill each other, so they weren't fighting seriously.
Mm. Oh, the manga dorks. Careful, don't say that too loud. Fansite'll whap you one. And if Parochin's in here,
And it's
I'll
not a
give you.
spoiler because Alex already saw it. He knows what I'm talking about. It was
It's
like
true.
he already saw it.
Well, I mean, what would the spoiler be? Isekai
Well,
protagonist strong, but meets something that's a little bit stronger and has to find a clever way around it. Like, welcome to all Isekai plots. Spoiler alert.
true.
Infinite timelines. Did I not see the Cell Saga, Blainer? I did see the Cell Saga. I just don't. There is
I
not a
didn't.
timeline where I read the manga.
Oh, I'm reading the manga right now for Dragon Ball.
For
Like, I'm
Dragon
bored.
Ball? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Starting from the
I tried
beginning,
watching
or are
the
you?
yeah, starting from the beginning. I tried watching the show a while ago and thought I couldn't sit through that.
It is a show of its time. It's in that sort of interesting. The 80s had this really strange transition, where the beginning of the 80s, everything kind of has that round and bubbly faced sort of almost I want to call it 60s style, even though it is, technically like more the 70s style, but everything has that really sort of round and happy feeling. And then about 84, 85, it switches over and everything is just Dragon Ball and Kenshiro. Like it switches over to what we consider like 90s anime. And then it sits that way for a while until we get Sword Art and the copy paste protagonist in the aughts.
There weren't a lot of good protagonists back then, but like at least they were all different.
Oh yeah.
Now they're
Well, there
all
just wasn't
like,
a lot back then either.
yeah, true.
Whereas like you're able to, we've talked 1,000 times about the doujin industry, how there's an entire raft of content that we will never see that is enough for somebody to buy groceries that week, right? Like it may not be what like makes them the big bucks, but they're able to sell enough to enough friends to, buy another game or something like that.
Well, the
And
thing
they're
is, just look at Twitter artists. Like you see people with like 10K followers, and they're making enough money to feed themselves. It's crazy.
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes you see that GoFundMe that's like, I need to pay my taxes. And you're like, okay, DSP, sure thing, bro.
Dude, I
I
saw
need a new
a streamer
couch
do
and
that.
it's going to be $3,000.
I was so annoyed watching. I posted a clip, I think, in
Stardust, I think, was it?
Stardust. Just literal e-begging, and I'm just like, I hated you before. Why are you making it worse? I did not like you, and now you're literally like, sorry guys, here's a pretty long Twitter thread. I know I'm covering this drama, but if you want me to read it on stream, I'm gonna need some money. I'm gonna need some money. I'm trying
that's
for
funny.
25
Not even
subs
as
a
like
day. You
a
gotta give me some money, and it's like that's literally $62 you're eBaying for a day. You literally just bought a game that's worth more than that. So like, you're not even making a video game a day. That's how cheap you're working. And you're not
yeah.
making money. You're working 8-hour, 6-hour days, and like you're literally spending half your money on your internet electricity bill. Like you're not. It is rough out there on these internet streets.
Yeah, you do wonder sometimes like how people have time to do what. Like I'm pretty open with what I'm like. I was doing a thing, not doing that thing, and I'm sort of like in between things. So I've got all this time. But even that, I'm only streaming like 3 hours a night.
Yeah, and it's more of
Welcome,
a
anime
hobby for
guy.
you than anything else. You're not like,
Exactly.
give me money. I need to feed myself tonight.
Feed me, feed me. Good evening. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing well. You're gonna need to up the membership tiers. You're
was that?
obviously not you're not
only tier
e-begging
2.
hard enough, I guess.
Well, I did add the welcome to the NHK level, but yeah, I don't know if anybody would take me up on that, but it's there if somebody wants to. But I can tell you, just from the monetization standpoint with YouTube, you make nothing on the views. Everything, at least for when you're first getting started, until you can start getting something that'll consistently get you, 10, 20, 30 plus thousand views. It's all in the membership. That's just the way that the battle is, so. But I just wanted to stop by, say hi, and say konnichiwa and kampai.
Kampai.
And oh, let's see. I dropped another show.
You dropped another show. What'd you drop?
Oh, what is it?
Oh, let me see.
Was it Beaufrey because they put it on delay?
No, I haven't been watching any of that because I haven't watched the first season of it.
Okay.
Let's see. What did I drop? So, this season, Legend of Heroes, Trials of Cold Steel, it's dropped. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague dropped that after the first episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Here it is. I dropped The Giant Beasts of Ours.
Really? How many
Yeah.
episodes did it take?
2. I started watching the third one. I'm like, no, it's missing something. It just doesn't. It's just missing something that I need in order to keep watching it. Kind of like how my Master Has No Tail did last season. I thought it was cutesy and fine, but it just didn't. It just couldn't hold. Just couldn't hold me. So. Then the same with the Onimai, and I'm kind of glad I dropped Onimai. That one, that one has enough problems of its own for pre-censorship, post-censorship, self-censorship. You name it, they're doing it. So,
Yeah, I don't know
Wait,
about that
what?
show.
so that one, yeah. After the first episode, I'm like, nah, I can't.
Sorry.
do that one.
What were those problems you were just describing? Pre-censorship, post-censorship?
Oh yeah, you have your tittle, your standard Twitter mafia, Puritan morons that are like, wait a minute, bad up front, no matter what. Period. End of story. I gave it a try, but as I said, the story about it and what they're trying to do with it it made it to where I needed to be Bleach bit my brain.
Yeah.
But going further in, the actual production house themselves have been self-censoring their episodes.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, there's another person I found on the YouTube that specifically devotes themselves to controversies, and I can't remember who it is, but they've covered it, and I saw it, and I'm like, okay, I know that this one's going to be, the standard censored version for Crunchyroll because it's Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
But I guess from what he was saying, the studio that's making this is doing some self-censorship, which is very uncouth.
So it ain't even a adaptation of it ain't even a faithful adaptation of some really shitty sister loving story.
Yeah. And as I said, this story isn't for me, but at the same time, I'm not going to go and I'm not going to tell anybody you should watch it, shouldn't watch it, should watch it censored, should watch it with all the, let's say, family loving aspects of it. I won't tell you what to do or not to do. But at the same time, I don't want these guys to have to feel that they have to censor themselves even for pretty much everyone except for themselves. So,
yeah,
this one has been the biggest controversial show of this evening, even more so than the aforementioned Dog Lovers, whatever show that is.
Hey, that show's great.
Oh, did you miss that whole part of the discourse, Michael, on Inukai, where the subtitle translator was like, I'm not sorry for what I did to the translation.
I did see that. Super cringe. I don't like it, but I'm not watching the show for the subtitles.
Okay. Yeah, as long as
past episode 1. I haven't seen past episode 1.
As long as we're together there, then I think you're good. But yeah, that was just one of those. It's like, why?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick up that show. And I said, Onimai, not for me. Dropped it after 1, but I don't like the idea of any of these guys censoring themselves. If Crunchyroll or High Dive, if they want to impose their own, let's say, careful edits or putting up of web browsers in particular places, then that's their business. But from what I saw with Onimai, there was a vid clip that the guy showed where they stopped the animation completely, left it on a still until the person that had their assets hanging out, not entirely, just top boob, nothing I would say over the top.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't go back to it until that was covered.
Yeah. Wait. So there is a manga for this. I haven't read it or anything, but so where they're actually censoring parts of the manga that go hard.
Are they?
Is that what I'm understanding? They're taking parts from the manga and censoring that, removing it.
I'm not entirely sure on that part of it. All I know is that for this show, either the studio themselves are doing it or Crunchyroll is doing that type instead of just having the cover boxes like they did last season and the season before. They're literally stopping the animation until it comes back.
I get what you're saying now. They did the same thing with Redo of Healer, but they also have the uncensored version. You just had to click a button to get that.
I don't know why I went through 5 episodes of that uncensored.
Holy shit!
I need the cone of shame, and I must go into the corner.
Wait, of Redo or Onimai?
Redo.
Okay,
I watched way more of Redo, and I am ashamed.
Don't worry, my brother hates anime, and he watched the entirety of it.
I feel like Redo of a hero of a healer was the anime version of the Harry Potter game, where there's just a lot of people that are like, wow, this is rape, but it's okay because it's revenge. we should all buy it. And they're like, no, don't do it. And they're like, buy it because it's going to piss them off. And like a lot of people that wouldn't even watch anime got into that show. And I was like, it's not that good of a show, though. Why are we all so excited?
It's pretty good.
It's bad.
Like, think about the whole of anime. Where would you stick redo?
Okay, lower end, but it's not.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I've seen worse.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a lot of people though that got into it just because of the content, as opposed to the.
Well, there's a name for that.
It's virtue signaling. They were all virtue signaling by getting into redo.
They just want to watch hentai without saying they're watching hentai. So
there's a term. There's a term for that, and it's called "they're hentais." What more can we say? If you watched it precisely because of that,
being hentais.
Yeah, here it is. I found it.
Real hentais.
They want to be able to talk about it with their friends.
Yeah, all my homies bookmark and hentai.
Here we go.
They had to for that show.
I found the dude's video. The channel is Dante's Rant Room, and for the size of the channel, he's got quite a few views on it. But he's got a clip showing what they did, the censored and the uncensored version. Let me pop it here for you without the sound, and you can see it. Here you go.
Oh, he does some nice clickbait. I like it.
So, moral lesson of the story: don't show skin; it'll get censored. Also, stop big boobers hate. So, here it is.
Okay, so
that's where they stopped.
They just stick like weird.
Yeah, right there until she covers it up, kinda.
But then it's a different scene still.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
That's
really an odd way to do a censor bar, though.
Wait, so which part of it is the studio censoring it?
I would have to go back and re-listen
Here,
to it.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it later. Yeah.
I said I do remember him saying that this particular studio has been doing that, or it sounded like they were going to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was strange.
I do wonder though, because there are parts of the censor bar that are like, oh my gosh, that's annoying. But like, if it was different animation and not just like school, like there's the locker room sign, right? Like that's all it is. That's kind of BS. Like, come on, you if you're gonna bother to cut to something else, just make a different thing. You could literally have it so that the character that she's commenting on is like behind the camera and it's just closer up on your protagonist. Like that would be a more creative way to do it. You could even reuse the same kind of animation and just have an entire cut that you would never know was censored or uncensored.
Or just make them older.
It's just so confusing. Like, why are they even
they're
doing
older?
it?
They still censor stuff though.
Nah, but like the older shows, it was a product of their time. But like now, it's like people just want to see the uncensored shit. Why
Why bother?
Like yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of shows that don't need censorship for kids and TV. You know, we don't need to keep doing this.
Like, obviously, something like One Piece is still going to have, like, the fog over the tits in the newer episodes, because that's what it was like at the beginning. But, like, Onimai, really? That was probably written 5 years ago, and now it's getting animated. Why are we censoring that?
The real question is if it's being broadcast, because if it's being broadcast, then that kind of makes sense, because you have your broadcast requirements there. But if it's not being broadcast and it's only being streamed, then it's like, why? I don't get it.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm at. Although I did pick back up Chilling in My 30s. I am going to give it the 4 episode. I'm going to at least do that before I finally say no. So.
I've seen some fun memes. I'm glad I've got some people on my Twitter feed that are still watching it, because there's some silly memes that have been popping up, but I don't know.
It gets fun a little bit.
Well, this is another show that you could say they're doing some self-censorship, but they're doing like how they used to do back in, the 40s, 50s, 60s. If you wanted to get sexy time, you had to be creative about it. They're being a bit creative about it. So I can deal with that, but I'll let it go. I'm almost finally caught up with Endo and Kobayashi, and that one makes me laugh so damn hard.
Oh, nice.
Brandon?
Yeah. How far are you?
4 episodes in. I got 2 more
Okay.
episodes to do. Then I'm going to drop a short on its rank. I decided for the mid-season, because we're at that point, I'll do shorts with my S to F tier ranking. And so far, let's see. Let me actually pull it up, because I don't remember what I've rated them all at. It's on my YouTube. Give me just a second. Yeah.
How far are you in 30s?
2 episodes in.
Okay.
Oh.
4 episodes isn't going to fix the show for you. There's a huge payoff by episode 6, like within episode 6. Everything has a payoff in that show. The thing is, it is boring. It is just boring.
It's a little
if you're not
slow
enjoying
draw.
it, just don't. Like, either muscle through to episode 6 or quit now. Like, you're not helping yourself. Watch until 4.
You like it better at 6, yeah. I've heard that
I might
before.
have to do that, but let's see. I've done Yurusei Yatsura, and I gave it an A tier ranking. Obviously, because I'm a lum slut. What more can I say?
Yep.
And then for Spy Classroom, I've given it a C tier ranking. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it, because it's also teetering. Farming Life in Another World, I also gave it a C tier, but I think I'm going to continue it mainly because the level of harem-esque and the level of elves needing to repopulate the species just went up astronomically in the 6th episode. Let's see. Ningen Fusion, I put that as a B tier, the B rank.
Oh.
See, this is why it's okay that there's a ton of people like giving their opinions online, because some people have to have the wrong ones.
Okay, so I only got to the beginning of episode 3. Why the hell would you get past that?
Because it's fun.
Okay, but what's fun about it?
I like the concept of this as a fantasy show, having all the losers form the losers club and then become, the king, the king shit. That's what they're heading towards. I like it. It's all right. I'll continue it. Tomo-chan, I gave it a B tier, but it's a high B. It's close to getting to that coveted A rank. And then Buddy Daddies, it's an A tier. It's an A tier anime. It's so damn funny and so damn cute and just so much fun. But I think I have a more affinity to it because of the fact that I am a father, so I can appreciate all the stuff that these two are going through. But yeah, so far so 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's. If I had to give Endo and Kobayashi, I would give it a B tier. It keeps getting better. I think we're moving towards something good there, but it would be more of a lower B at this point. Let's see. I haven't watched any new My Hero since the Villain Attack arc ended, so I can't say anything about it. Trigun, I'd have to give it a B tier.
Interesting.
And I've only watched 2 episodes of the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world, but this is one of those shows that I think is going to be teetering a bit because it's got.
Oh, really?
It does have some elements to this reincarnation that I like. Was this the one where he was so powerful
refreshing.
as a baby? No, that's
no.
not this one.
You got all cranky with Reborn to master the blade. You're like, it's a baby, you can't beat a dragon. But
That's
like
right,
that's
I did.
kind of the point. Is he literally
And I
like
dropped
starts
that
over?
That's
Yeah,
right.
you dropped
I
that
dropped
one
that
like
one.
at the baby fight scene, if I recall. You were like,
Yeah,
no, babies
that
can't
was just
fight.
too stupid for. That was the bridge too far as an isekai goes for me. But strongest exorcist in another world, it's teetering. I can see it becoming really good, but I'm not 100% for sure yet. I still haven't started.
Did you start
saving...
Revenger?
I have not started Revenger
Okay.
yet, and I have not started Ayakashi Triangle.
Well,
But I am
Ayakashi's
pleased.
been delayed, so
I am pleased as friggin' punch that Nier Automata is finally coming back. Finally.
very exciting. I just
Yeah.
read that today.
Because I would put that up there as an A tier, teetering on S tier. It's damn good. I really love
It's
Nier Automata.
good, but they got
close.
some jarring back and forth with their 3D choices.
It hasn't bothered me as much as some other shows. Mainly because I know it's based on the game, so I can deal with it.
The only reason it's like not thrown me off is because I played the game. So every time it starts into 3D, I always like reach for a controller, and I'm like, oh, that's right, it's not game time. Like,
Yes, we do want to see to be or not to be. That is the panties.
that is the panties.
And
No
I've
way
only
it's
seen
anywhere
two
near
episodes of. I've only seen 2 episodes of Handyman Saitao, but what I have seen, I would put it as a C. But if it gets as good as I think it's going to get, I think it'll probably climb up to a B without too much problem, because it's way different on the whole isekai formula compared to some of the others, as far as how much they've shown of his past life and or talked about it or lack of talking about it. We know he came from another world, but we don't know why. We don't know how. We don't know. I don't know any of those things yet. All that we know is he's there, and he is a beloved member of this party of 4, which looks like it expands, but the people that expand make it much better. So, yeah, we'll see. I know I'm behind Shum, but I think I might. Yeah, I'm gonna finish. Endo and Kobayashi, and then I'm gonna bump over to Handyman Saito so I can create some YouTube shorts and get them out there.
Saitao does get better. I can confirm.
Yeah. Well, the 2 episodes have been pretty good. I like where it's going. It's not like it's starting off in a bad place like how Harem and a Labyrinth of Another World started off, or some of these other shows. It's got a very solid foundation.
It does actually go where you think it's gonna. Like, it does get better. You know.
Good. In that case, I'll do that, and then I gotta decide if I'm actually gonna watch the Saving 80,000, High Card, Malevolent Spirits. And then I need to get my ass back into gear and finish Vinland Saga. I just need to do it.
Those are 3 you should not consider.
I
worth it.
would maybe watch the first 80,000 just to be like, oh, I get it. Because you watch the first episode, you know the whole rest of the show. You're done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Malevolent looks awful, but like, my sister's really into that show for some reason. I'm like, don't you hate the way it looks? She's like, oh, I'm just doing other stuff, so I don't really like look at it all the whole time. I'm like, all right, well, that kind of makes sense.
And then I still need to do Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. I'm deciding if I'm going to do that one or not, because if I remember correctly, when I put it on here, I was kind of teetering with it to start with.
I'm telling you, you need to get rid of everything you just listed and just watch Revenger.
Well, I do have it on here, but I guess I could bust out 6 episodes pretty quickly.
Yeah, you definitely expedite Revenger, but like, come on, man, half that shit is trash.
Yeah, but it's trash that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that's true. At least,
Fair enough.
You did stop Reborn partway through, so I mean, I guess you're not scared to stop a show if you've started it. So don't be scared to do that with what you just listed off.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
nowadays-
Kubo's very popular, but I don't think I'm going to keep watching it.
Well, I'm still watching Reincarnated as a Sword dubbed, and so far, well, let's see, if I was
That's
to do
why you're so behind.
Well, it's only once a week, that they get released. So, but the Japanese version of it, it's an easy A tier anime. The dub, I would probably put it as a B tier, mainly because they increased the amount of swearing when they didn't need to.
Oh,
They basically have taken this show,
Like they're
with
trying to
the-
be edgy with it, as opposed
yeah,
to
they're
being
trying to be edgy
useful.
with it. You know, it's got
Okay.
a TV 14 level of violence, nothing mild, but nothing over the top. It didn't have any heavy swearing until the 7th episode when the one lieutenant or someone drops the F-bomb, but it's not until then. They were dropping F-bombs and all that crap in the 2nd episode of this when she was going and dealing with getting into the Adventurers Guild and then dealing with the 4 mercenaries who were just being complete and total whack-offs. But in the Japanese, they're not telling her to, F you, F this, F that, whereas in the English, yeah, tons of that. Or the battle with the demon. Teacher absolutely let off a firestorm of swearing. Instead of just calling him a bastard, like you know how they normally do, I think he told him to eat shit and die, you effing prick, or something along those lines. I'm used to it being the other way around.
It goes beyond like useful or interesting, and just is like I can tell you were just trying to add more swear words in this because you
Shock
could.
value.
Yeah, and it's like not useful.
Yeah, it's not cool. It doesn't. It's not adding anything to this to make it better.
Fuck.
So the English dub is definitely more B. It makes it more B tier. Japanese, it's A tier all day long, and I can't wait for the 2nd season. And you see, it's opposite of what they did with Spy Family. The English dub of Spy Family is cleaner than the Japanese, because in the Japanese they had there was one episode where Anya called Damien a shithead. She doesn't do that in English. And Damien said GD something. They don't have him do that in the English.
That is a bit of a, I believe that she uses the term kuso, which like literally means like stinky head, like if you were to actually translate it. But like it also kind of means trash and is synonymous with when we call someone shit. So it could be just the sub translator was like, well, this is what I normally put when I write this down.
Well, I didn't watch it on Crunchyroll, so it could just be the particular translation.
yeah, it
Fan
seems
sub
more
or
like an
something.
actual translation mishap, and not like, no, we're adding more curse words. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
But excuse me.
Anime writers were former tradesmen and naval officers.
Hmm.
I actually did start the 2010 rendition of Cobra the animation, and I absolutely love the 80s machismo guy.
Yeah.
Cobra is such a badass.
He looks like alternate world Ken from Street Fighter, and I just can't get past it whenever I watch that.
Yeah, I like it. But then again, I'm a sucker for the 80s.
It's true. Even if they're done in the 10s.
Yep, even if it's done in the 10s. That's where all that stands, and I need to get caught back up with Eminence of Shadow, but yeah, c'est la vie.
Yeah, you do need to get caught up. It's gone.
Or just
Crazy.
Well, I'm not going to drop it because I do like it, but I've noticed it with these shows that are given the longer seasons instead of the 12, 13 episode that typically is done now. I'm having a harder time getting past those 10 to 13 episodes and just sticking with it, because by the time that happens, we're into a whole nother season and a whole bunch of new stuff to watch.
Yeah,
So
there's always something new to watch.
You get used to those mid-season finales that just don't come.
Well, Urusei Yatsura is kind of an oddity in that, because even though they This Any list shows it just as one season, whereas High Dive's treating it as 2 seasons. So the first season was 11 episodes. This next season is another 11 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So mental
I
thing
wonder if
maybe.
there's something to the way that Spy Family put the 1 month break in between, because I didn't feel that. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't feel that with Spy Family when the second season came around. I was just like, yep, time to watch it again. And I'm wondering if that's because of Spy Family or if that's just because of the break that it had. And I was like, oh yes, more. And it feels new again, even though it's just not been on for a couple months or whatever.
Yeah, that's. I think it's more or less it was just Spy Family. Spy Family, the first core of that season was so good that we couldn't wait to get the second core. And the second core wasn't as good, but it was definitely fulfilling in other ways, telling the story, moving the story along. And I can tell you that to the first volume, yeah, the anime is pretty much a beat for beat on it. I've got the volume 1, so
Yeah.
I like it. I likey.
Dude, you unlocked a memory of. I was just thinking, what was in between? What was during that summer that was in between Spy Family, the first season, second season, or at least between the first half and
Bastard.
the second half? It was Engage Kiss. I completely forgot that show existed.
You forgot about Engaged Kiss?
Licorice
No,
Recoil.
it was so bad. Yeah, Licorice Recoil, Engage
Well, let's
Kiss.
see what else.
You know, all
There
the
was
greats.
Well, there was Bastard, Licorice Recoil, the My Hero Academia Season 5 OVAs. Those were fun. Although the baseball one is just watch it one time and be done with it. But the Laugh Like You're in Hell is just hilarious. Tokyo Mew Mew New. Let's see. Cyberpunk
Bad.
Edge Runners. I could only get through one episode of Edge Runners. I can't do
I
it.
am blown away. What's wrong with
Whoa.
you?
Maybe it's just the fact of how much older I am compared to. This is something that I think I would have absolutely went ape shit over 20 years ago. But now, not so much. Oh, that's right. There's Harem. And then Black
True.
Summer, Call of the Night, a Fuuto, a PE, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean Part 2, Kakaguri Twin, My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex, Parallel World Pharmacy, Phantom of the Idol, Shine On, The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I do
Can't
need
be
to
much
watch that
older
one.
than us. No, he's not. That's the thing.
And Vermilion Gold.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Oh yeah, and there was Uncle. But that one's a tough one to count within the summer because of how many times they've had to put it on hiatus because of the goof. And they still don't have that final episode out. And here we are almost 6 months, going to be closer to a year by the time they actually do it.
Right.
Oh, I did see that High Dive decided they're going to take a chance and pick up a...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're taking a chance and they're picking up Futuko no Guild.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to have it, I think, both censored and uncensored.
Oh, finally.
If they do have both the censored and uncensored, I'm going to laugh my ass off at it because it's a show that I should have dropped, and I didn't.
Is
And
there
I
any
feel-
difference between censored and uncensored? 'Cause
Oh,
I feel like it
yes.
was one of those shows where it's just
There's
off.
Yes.
there's a couple differences, but then there's some of the censored where you're like, I don't get it. Now, that may say more about me and growing up learning about the internet and the early web, but like there's a bunch of it where I'm just like, why did this get censored? You can't see anything.
You watch the comparison videos.
No,
A little
I
bit.
literally I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't feel like anything was censored in that. And then I watched the uncensored version of the first episode and I was like, huh. And I literally like put them on both of my screens playing them and was like, huh. Because
what I was
there were a
imagining you
couple
doing.
censoring and like the slime attacks and stuff. And I was like, why?
Yeah,
Why did they
the
put a
slime
censor
doesn't,
there?
Dude,
Yeah, it didn't
I
take off any
literally
clothing.
imagine you watching a video with like a big red circle over everything that was uncensored.
It was
Doing
very
like the cross-eyed thing like you do with the find the differences.
Yeah.
it was very gropey. It wasn't. It's what I would call lewd, and there are definitely some parts that are a little more gropey than others. But it's not like Redo, where or even, Legend of the Overfiend. It's not even close to any of that. So, yeah. I had high hopes for Bastard, but they blew it.
I'm still confused what audience they're trying to reach by censoring it.
Yeah, that is always like that again is my thing. Is it on TV? Like, is it airing on a television program that requires some amount of censorship? If yes, then I can kind of understand censoring it because you've got this requirement so that you can get it on a place that's paying you for getting it on there. But if not, then why? Like, who's like, you know what? I really wanted to watch Immortal Guild, but like, my mom's gonna be making dinner tonight, and I gotta make sure that it's okay if she's is in the room watching it with me. And it's like maybe don't watch this.
Yeah, it's one of those that if you're, I should not have watched it. It's not very good. Even if you were to focus more on what the whole point of the story was, this kid that doesn't want to waste his 20s being in the guild, he's trying to get his replacement, but all he keeps getting are literally incompetent women. And he's trying to make them less incompetent and be able to actually do the job without them getting...
You could have just said women.
Yeah, without them getting groped by the monsters, because the amount of mana they're putting out makes them want to grope them instead of just eating them or trying to kill them.
Oh, they're going to get ate.
Weird. Yeah, it's really, really weird.
It was
well. Then you get the at the end you do get the other. We'll call him the femboy. He is a male, but very feminine. Yeah, he even gets accosted by these damn things, and it's nasty.
Thanks.
So
what's it? Oh, okay. It's funny you mentioned like the TV guide requires you to censor shit because I was watching some Whitest Kids You Know sketches on YouTube. Like, they have all the episodes uploaded, and it's like this comedy show. One of the bits was, buy the DVD because this tit is out in the DVD, and it's uncensored. Buy our DVD.
Oh, yeah.
And on YouTube, it just wasn't censored. So I'm just watching, and all of a sudden, like, a girl takes off her top, and there's just tits on my screen. I'm like, holy shit. Thanks, YouTube.
YouTube is weird about things like that. They
Sometimes
really
it's
are.
fine. Other times it's not so fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just found it crazy that the whole bit was that it's censored, and then it just wasn't.
I do love Whitest Kids You Know, though. Whitest Kids You Know and Balloon Shop are very early formative internet comedy.
You know what? I'm just gonna drop those shows. I'm just gonna drop the saving.
Oh shit! Lolly's
Yep.
live right now.
I know, right?
Okay, I'm
Almighty
leaving.
Lolly just went live on a solo Monday stream, which is...
All right, boys, have a good day. I'm leaving right now. This is what we're doing. This is the
I was like,
plan.
well, I was
Bye.
gonna do a short stream anyway. So it's a good thing I planned this. I somehow knew that Lolly would go live tonight.
Who?
No, I actually have certifications to do tomorrow for food service that are annoyingly proctored. But we'll do that.
I've dropped those 3, and I'm okay with that. I can deal with that. So now I can focus on Handyman Saito. And maybe finally get through Vinland Saga. Well, in that case, you do what you need to do. Go, kick ass, take names, get the food licenses, and I might just have to make the trek up to Seattle.
Yeah,
Get some food.
Once I'm allowed, I'll let you know. It's such a like a cacophony of like spaghetti right at the end, right? Because you're trying to do all these things so they all sort of line up and like you can make it work. But it's like now I'm waiting for the titling to come back so that I can get the plates. So that if I get plates on it, I can drive to Spokane to get the fire service certification. And then once I get the certification there, then I can get the L&I will sign off on it finally. Then once L&I signs off on it, I can get the Department of Health to sign off on it. Once they sign off on it, then I get the city of Burien to sign off on it, and then the city of Burien Fire Department will sign off on it. And so it's like I've got all these people that have to like kind of get in line, but like I've got all of their paperwork like just ready for that final signature, and now it's just like I need all of these yeses like yesterday would be great. So that's where I'm at. Yeah,
it's not a short trip from Seattle to Spokane.
No, it's not. But that's the closest person in my state that is licensed to look at the fire suppression system that I have on my trailer. Which,
Does that
had
sound
I known,
stupid?
I would have just ordered a trailer without a fire suppression system and had a local guy do it. But I
Yeah,
figured
that's-
that if the installer is certified in that system and they can install it, then it should be okay. But because Washington's like, no, they need this other certification. It's annoying. It's dumb.
Yeah. State
Weekend
of
at Blaine's.
Washington.
I've got a big chunk of land next to me. You guys can all pitch a tent in. I'm sure we've got. I don't think we have camping laws that would stop that.
Well, not now, considering the zones that have been created over the past few years. Yeah, there's no stopping the campsites now these days. So,
I think.
but then again, tent camping was never my thing.
Depends. They did turn it off for because they turned it on for public parks. Like it's okay to camp in public parks, but then they turned it off, and they swept the parks like 1984. Here comes the Doom Cops just mowing through a park. Which caused all of the homeless to go find like other places to go, and like just kind of like moves the problem around. But yeah, you would have thought that every public park in the greater Seattle area was like some sort of country club run thing with how clean they swept everything. But
too bad
yeah,
it doesn't stay that way. Anyways, I gotta go
does.
myself. So thanks for having me on for a moment to talk
Of course.
current anime, and I'll just keep putting out some shorts. And if you really want to see my ranking for them, you'll have to go check those out. So,
alrighty,
thank you, Blaine. Take care,
we'll
buddy.
see ya.
See ya.
You've already pinched plenty of tents watching Harem and a Labyrinth. Thanks, Avery. You can always pitch one more. That's my motto. But everybody have, like I said, I'm making this one a little bit shorter tonight. Have a good one. I will catch you next time. If you want to, you can jump in, go raid Lolly's chat. Tell him I sent you. Have a wonderful time. And I will see you all next time here in the corner. Oh, which will be Wednesday. We'll be here for Waifu Wednesday. We'll have nothing tomorrow because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And I bet you know what I'm doing. No, we're not doing Forest tomorrow. Tomorrow is no stream. We are going straight from here, skipping Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday for Waifu Wednesday. Have a good one. Kampai, everybody. I'll see you then.